This is my family of four. Since my early childhood, because of different situations and conditions, we had to travel a lot for work, for travel, or for family conditions. And we visited 3 or 4 different countries. And that's why since the early childhood, my family glorified travel experiences. They always told me, you need to travel to get the real experience in life. So that's why when I stated several years ago that I want to study abroad, they were really in the 7th club. They stated, we are going to do everything possible so that you will study abroad. And I did. As you can see here, I'm standing here in South Korea. And I'm grateful for my parents that they gave me this priority and they gave me this opportunity to study abroad. And I've seen most of Asia and I like it and I really adore it. But I always had this little dream inside my heart that I wanted to visit Europe. Not because it's different from Asia or because it's very glorified or like better than Asia, but because I have already been in Asia. I wanted something different. So when my school announced an email, they sent me an email that there is a scholarship opportunity for an exchange program in Norway. Can you imagine my mood, how I was feeling? I think the picture by my dean, who is by the way sitting here, best describes that mood that I had when I received that email. The only 2 words that I was able to speak to my friend who was sitting next to me was, opportunity ahead. Because I felt like this was the opportunity of my lifetime and that I needed to pursue this. Because when I was leaving my country to study abroad, my parents stated, travel the world. Because we cannot travel the world, we want to see the world through your eyes. So, and then I started looking at the requirements. Satisfactory grades, meaning satisfactory academic standing. Good and active student participation in clubs and different activities. And proud representation of school. When I was filling my application, I was quite confident, right? Because I had all these. I had not the highest GPA, but quite satisfactory grades. And I was very active in the student activities, be it for debate, negotiation, or the other voluntary activities. And I also was proudly representing my school in different competitions around Asia. So I filled my application and I waited and waited, passionately, waiting for that moment when I would receive that email stating that I was chosen for that scholarship and the opportunity of my lifetime is given to me. One day, when I was waiting patiently and talking to my friend, the sound came. I received an email, and the first word was enough to decide my mood for an entire week. Unfortunately, we cannot grant you this opportunity. For an entire week, I was depressed. I was only doing this because of the fact that I was unhappy and I felt like the opportunity of my lifetime was taken away. After being depressed and unhappy and stressed out for 1 week, I started realizing I need to move on. But before moving on, I was curious, who was that person who was chosen instead of me? So I started searching for that person. No, I wasn't searching for vengeance, or I didn't want to revenge for that person. But I wanted to find out who is that person and what did he have that I did not. And I found out. Actually, he was my friend. But unfortunately, the only thing that he had was higher academic grades, higher GPA than me. While he was not really active in the student activities and he was not representing school. I don't have anything against him because he's my friend, but I think the prioritization that the universities are doing only for academic grades is making the students stressed. I felt like I was stupid because I wasn't meeting the requirements or the expectations that the university has, because until that moment, I thought I am a perfect student. Which actually led me to University Makes Me Google search. This is a real Google search. You can try it. I did not make it up. University makes me anxious, sad, angry, feel like a failure, cry, and tired, or even feel like a stupid. Isn't it supposed to be vice versa? Feel like I'm smart. But this is the real case. I thought maybe it's because of a Google algorithm, because most of the time it's millennials using the Google, and because of the fact that millennials are known to be, a little complaining, a little criticizing. So I thought maybe it's our problem. But then I started asking my seniors, professors, and the people from other generations, have you also felt depressed or stressed in the university? The answer shocked me. Because what they stated, the university is the place where you need to just move on and survive and learn, because it's the stress-generating environment. It's just the nature. You need to move on. So I thought, is the university destined to be the stress-generating environment? But I'm here to tell you that it's not destined, and it's a high time to change for that. It's a very urgent time of us, millennials, to change that. But before telling what can be changed and what can be improved, I think we need to give the credit to the universities. Because for 100 years or even more, the universities worked awesomely. And it's one of the main reasons why we are standing on this technological age with a lot of improvement, with a lot of progress. But just because it changed, because we are having these innovations and the changed perceptions, I think it's a high time for that. So this is the practical reason why the universities need to be changing, because the demand itself is decreasing. Because we have these online platforms where students are learning for free or not for free the skills that the universities are supposed to teach. That's why the demand itself is decreasing. For example, if the top companies in the past required the degree, now they don't really require, for example, this, Google, Apple, and 12 other companies, they are saying, we don't need your degree. We need your skills. We need you to be you. I think that's why the universities can change and have a quite good interest in changing the perception and to be more inclusive. But on another level, I think it's more on a societal level that we need to change that. Because unlike in the past, the stress is being only increased. For example, if now millennials are known to be almost twice as stressed as the baby boomers, the generation that is known to be even more stressed. We are leading to a life when the millennials or the next generations are not going to know what is joy, what is happiness, because of the fact that they don't have stress coping mechanisms, and because of the fact that the environment that they are in as students is just making them stressed. So you might be thinking, why are they stressed? Or why are we as students stressed? Well, get this. This is a quote by Albert Einstein. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. When I was denied the opportunity for one single reason that I wasn't even aware of, I thought I'm stupid. I really thought so. And I think many students here sitting there, at least once in their life, felt like they're stupid because they were not given the opportunity due to competition. Because what happens in the universities or the university perception is the students are round pegs and they are trying to fit in the square holes. But we know that it's never possible. It's different figures. And because they are trying to meet the expectations of the society and are failing to do that, they are being stressed out. And that's one of the main reasons why the universities are having this stress-generating environment, because they have this requirement that you need to compete against each other. All students need to be same and in one box, having these academic grades. The only criteria that we need to be looking at is the academic grade, not the other skills. I'm not here to state that the students, I know some of the friends I have here, really focusing on the academic grades. I'm not here to state that the academic grades are not important. I'm here to state that the academic grades and all the other students who focus on different things, music, art, debate, for example, like me, negotiations, public speaking, or any other skills are as important as academic grades. I think collaboration instead of a competition of differences is what we need. How we can change that perception? I'm just a student, I'm not an expert, you know me. But I'm also an observant. I'm observing what's happening around the world. And I think one of the best things to change the perceptions of the universities of students is learning and collaborating. Not learning and competing. Because we know that learning is not a competition. That's what these two countries are doing. Singapore has recently completely innovated its educational system. It stated no to competition and no to comparison between students. What they're doing now, even though they have this test, but it's not a standardized that's there to compare with the other students. That's there just to test the knowledge itself. The students can focus on what they're passionate about and they can follow this through their life. And that's why they are feeling a lot happier. And we know that the Finland is already very experienced in the education system. And we know that the Finnish students are a lot happier than around the world because of the fact that the education system does not focus on the competition and does not value the grades. The grades used to be important and they used to be very effective in the past. But times are changing now. And I think it's a high time to change that perception of the universities, to be more inclusive of all kinds of students. And when one of you going to think, I'm going to focus on more business skills or on internship or, for example, on different kinds of skills, even music, the university is going to support you instead of comparing you to another student who is completely different, who is focusing on academic grades. He's also important, but he's as important as you are because of your differences. But stress is not only because of universities, right? I think we can contribute to that as a society as well. Because what the society is right now telling you is the opportunities are in certain places. For example, when I was applying to study abroad, what my parents, my peers, my seniors, and my teachers told me, advisors, go to the United States of America, because this is the land of opportunity. If you go to other countries, you are not going to get the opportunities because the land of opportunity is the United States of America or the United Kingdom or Canada, based on differences of people. I think this perception can be changed in order to be more inclusive of the other students. Why? Because the land of opportunity is not a place. The land of opportunity is where we all are and where we search for these opportunities and where we are ready to embrace those opportunities. And if the society is telling you that the land of opportunity is wherever you go and supports you in that, your parents, your seniors, your advisors, I think we as millennials or any other generation can be a lot happier. Because I think happiness is when you can achieve your goal and the opportunities are there for you to embrace. If that mistaken view of the opportunity can be changed and can be encouraged by the entire society, I think we are going to get a lot happier students. You might be probably sitting there and thinking, this is another millennial complaining about student life or complaining about life in general. I am a millennial. I'm proud of that. But at the same time, I'm criticizing because I think it can be better. I'm a millennial, but also I'm a believer, a hopeful believer. And I hope one day, when another student comes to TEDx talk or any kind of talk and makes a Google search, university makes me, instead of these negative, horrible results, he's going to get a very positive ones. University makes me feel smart, happy, grateful, ready for the future, want to live and empowered. If that's the future we can live to, and that's the future we are leading to, then I promise, and I think all the other millennials will promise too, we are not going to complain about the university. Thank you very much.